Hello, one and all, and welcome to my first tier list that I am doing. I didn't make the tier list. I believe that would be Herp of Derp who did that, I think, if I understand this website correctly. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a tier list of Hunter x Hunter characters. I will be going based off of the manga. For anime-only characters, I suppose I'll base them on the anime, but you can assume that I'm being mostly informed by the manga. I will specify when it is different. You also might be able to tell by my voice that I am currently fighting off a cold, and you might ask yourself, now Evan, you're going to disappear for months and then decide to finally record when your voice sounds gross. And yeah, that's what's happening, and I'm sorry, and it's what's happening. So let's do it, you know? Let's go ahead. I'll try to have more scripted stuff, more my usual analysis, who knows, esoteric, philosophical, whatever nonsense I do. In the future, can't make any promises, but hey, I can try my best, and so here we are, unscripted, let's get to it. Gon, easiest SSS ever. I mean, what a beautiful little baby boy we've got here. I kind of resent the whole he's a monster reading of the story. I think it happened because of Alexander's video, which I actually agree with his video. I think it's an awesome video, and I find that this happens to me a lot too, where I'll have a reading and like I'll have an interpretation, and I'll really focus in on that interpretation, and then and I'm not speaking for Alexander, obviously. I'm saying that like as I watched his video, I totally got all of his points. And at the same time, I think people took that as like, okay, that's all there is to Gon is this like gray morality. And they kind of don't take the larger picture into account where like, of course, he's got gray morals. He's a freaking child, and children usually don't have the most centered moral codes yet. So yeah, that wasn't a dig on Alexander. I love that video. I think it's awesome. I just think people have taken it a little too far and thought that like, oh yeah, he's a monster. Anyway, I've also seen a bunch of videos titled Gon's a Monster, but I haven't really watched them. Mito. I have mixed feelings on Mito. I really love her. Good mother figure type person. My one gripe is the whole... I'm not really sure if I'd call it a gripe because I get where she's coming from with the whole, like, you know, telling Jing never to come back, taking custody of Gon, then lying to him about it. I mean, I totally get it. It makes sense. I think for now we're going to go... For now, we'll go top of B tier. I might want to go A, but we'll see. We've got Sea Captain Guy. I don't remember if he ever got a name. I like him. I think he served an important role in the story to make Gon come off as Jesus in the beginning. The whole, oh my God, like, your son has finally arrived. He's good hunter. He's, oh my gosh, wow, Gon. But yeah, I don't know, I thought he had some really cute interactions with Gon. See, my initial reaction is to want to put him in A, but then, like, I don't want to really put him above Mito. I don't think so. I'll put him here. Katsuo, don't know why I remember his name. Not in the manga, but, you know, he's a sweet bean. I feel to put not applicable, and here's the reason why. Because I don't think he as a character was all that much. I don't think there was much going on with him, but I do think that it's really helped the plot to give a little more stakes to random person flying off the boat. You know, make him likable, make him the underdog, you know. I like the scene, you know, he's getting kicked at the beginning but he's also the only non-lousy crew member who can run around with water. So, like, you know, that's cute. I like that. But I think that it's more of like a plot thing than a character thing. He just doesn't do much, and also he's not even in the manga, so okay. I mean, we've got two easy SSS tiers here. Kurapika, I guess I should explain why SSS, even though I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, but just, you know, the whole duality between him being a soft boy and loving his friends, but also having this single-minded goal that was kind of forced upon him. Not kind of forced upon him, it was forced upon him. And the dark sides of him are also they come from the soft boy in him, parallel to Gon, right? They're both these soft boys that end up with this whole revenge plot because someone they care about, or possibly many people they care about, being hurt by a group of people, and they kind of feel this sense of duty that only they can help. Okay, Leorio. Man, I mean, I'd say like I kind of put Gon in his own place, and no, I don't know. They're all just great. They're all just so. I was gonna say that I put Gon in his own thing, but not really. Leorio, just such a sweetheart. One of the only pure sweethearts in the series, except for one character that is probably my favorite character in the series that we will get to later. But I don't know. I love Togashi's whole like start by making him look like he's an asshole and then subvert that. He's very good at that whole thing. I think they're called Kikiros, if I'm not mistaken. It's not really much of a character. I mean, I'm gonna have to go NA because like this is implying it's specifically the one that takes over Goto, or takes over Goto's place in the Zoldyck estate. Yeah, he's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they do anything. Tompa, I'm gonna have to go. I'll go S because, you know, I made a whole video about this, but I do think Tompa is one of the first characters we see that really embodies the hunter spirit. And I think he's a really interesting character, you know, really. He has his own goals, and he doesn't rely on the opinions of those around him or the criteria of what he's supposed to try to do. And I respect that. Nicholas, screw this guy. No, get out of here. Annoying. I mean, that's obviously the point of the characters, to be an annoying little asshole, but yeah. So F tier because that's what he's supposed to be, because he's annoying. Killua, easy. Yeah, I mean, I might have to go top of SSS here. Killua, come on. I mean, need I say more? I don't even feel like I do, but I will because I have to. Just, first of all, respect trans rights. Love that. Absolutely love that for him. Some of the most interesting turmoil in the series. Overcomes it in such a beautiful way. I don't know. He's the Leorio to Gon as Leorio is to Kurapika in a sense. I mean, obviously that's a huge oversimplification, but if we're talking little arcs of like who's supporting who's getting blown off by who, you know, I really, their whole friendship is just such a tragedy because they just don't have the emotional intelligence to navigate the real complex situation they're in. I don't think they really needed to split up in the end if they had more open communication. But Gon said some pretty unforgivable stuff to Killua, and Killua kind of had to go off and find himself. So I get it. It's just so sad to me because it could have been such a wholesome friendship through and through. And to a degree it was, because I don't think either of them harbor any resentment. And at the same time, like, you know, it could have. I want to see them get back together someday. Who knows? Easy SSS. Chaos Factor. Always surprising in his simplicity. The way he wants to achieve having fun. Such a simple goal, but always goes about it in the most roundabout yet logical way. Never thinks, love me a little murder, magician, clown, guy thing. Yes. It's Umari, Imari, and Amari? Umari, Imari, Amari, something. They don't do anything. I don't really know what to say. Like, I mean, yeah, they get bodied by Killua twice, and that's funny, and I like that. But like, I don't dislike them, but I don't like them. They're set pieces, you know. That's fine. Hanzo's interesting because he's got stuff that he's doing in the manga currently, and he's got this whole duty thing he's got going on. I need to reread the Succession War arc because I'm a little. I don't remember. I'm like stroking his face with my mouse. I don't know. I talk with my hands. What can I say? No, but I think he's got some interesting stuff going on. I'll go with A tier for now. I don't know if I'd put him above these guys. Maybe B tier, just because I'm curious to see what else he does because I feel like he's a lot more to do in the manga. He's you know, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, and I like characters who put a lot of pressure on themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. Not projecting, but relating. Bodoro? Forgetting his name? He doesn't, I mean, again, Another jobber for Killua. I wonder if this whole row is just going to be people that Killua beats the crap out of. Buhara is I think that's Menchie's, the big guy who, I think that's this guy. Tendo, I think that's Pain. I'm just thinking about Naruto now. I don't know, another guy that you know what Togashi puts him in his respect women arc. With the egg thing, I like that about him. I dislike him because he's got the whole, like, he's kind of the mouthpiece for, like, oh, I don't respect cooking, I don't respect women, which I guess go hand in hand in that little mini arc, I believe the second phase of the Hunter exam. Not I believe, it is. Club guy, don't remember his name. Again, he doesn't do much. I mean, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put him here because I also like the fact that he respects Gon's concentration. He's there for Gon. He doesn't do anything to Gon until after no, I can't. See, these guys being here makes me want to put these guys up a layer, but then I'd want to put Tompa up a layer, and they're going to be characters here. So no, I'm going to stick with this. This is fine. Garetta, that's his name. So I talked about him. Bourbon, the snake charmer. Again, he doesn't do anything. He's just there. I mean, I don't even think he has any lines. I don't think he even says anything. I don't think. I mean, Ponzu kills him, which the only W she gets in the whole series. And then it's still an L because she's caught in his trap. So, like, at her best was a tie, which is so sad. Oh, Ponzu, I wish you could have done more, but you didn't. And I think the bees were an interesting idea. She could have been the bee's knees, but instead she got stung. So I don't want to say F tier because that's rude, but I also don't know if she's on the same. So we'll go low C tier because she's not Nicholas. Like, she's fine. She's cool. Oh, I see another Killua jobber, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Pakal, easy. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Pakal, you're a meme. You make it fun. I feel so bad for you. I don't know what to say. Top of C tier, I guess. This guy, the monkey guy, I thought it was funny his monkey had a penis. That's funny. I like that. But again, I'm going to say NA. He didn't really do anything. Satots, I mean, man, I'll go here. Like, he talked to Gon about his dad. He said the thing about Hisoka being like, more being like, oh, he's like us, but a little more inclined towards darkness, which I thought that was a cool little, like, opening up the morality of the Hunter x Hunter universe at the very beginning. I'm here for it. Buhara, I think. Sure. I mean, I know that's his name. It's just pronunciation that I'm not positive about. I mean, again, he doesn't really do much. He's just kind of like a fat guy that eats a lot. I don't know. I remember him saying he likes Killua in the Hunter exam, so that's something. But, I mean, that's not enough. Menchie? See, this is a complicated one because, like, on one hand, you've got the whole thing she's a part of, in like a meta level. To me, feels like Togashi going, hey, women's pursuits aren't any less important than men's. I mean, cooking is, funnily enough, a very male-dominated field, but we don't need to talk about that. I don't know enough about the cooking world to. I'm no Ramsay, Gordon, or otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. She's cool. I mean, I have to put her above this guy. I have to. Respect women. Unfortunately, respect women goes into C tier. And as a woman, I think that's fine. Netero. Oh my god. Okay, so, wow, what's going on there? I don't know if that's SSS. Oh man, I mean, I can't put you. Maybe like low end of SSS, which is like, I mean, I'm making it sound like that's not amazing. Netero, incredible. Really encompasses the humanity aspect of the Chimera Ant arc. I mean, the sense of duty, the love and joy of fighting, along with the ability to do pretty messed up things for the sake of the greater good. Part of probably my favorite fight in the series. That's kind of hard to say, but top 3, top 5 easily. I'm guessing this is going to be a reverse bell curve. Like, we're going to have a lot up here and a lot down here. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Just love him. Beans. Oh, how I long to put you in SSS. Oh, how I do. I love Beans, but I feel like I can't justify that. Like, it feels like a meme to put him in SSS. I'll go top of B tier. I mean, that feels harsh. I love you, Beans. You're amazing. Real supportive guy. I wonder if Bean is going to be on here. I love that there's Beans and then there's Bean. I wonder if I'd even recognize Bean if I saw him. No, because he'd be in here, right? Mafia guy. Yeah, fun fact about Hunter x Hunter, there's a character named Beans and there's a character named Bean who is a mafia guy, but he's not on here for obvious reasons. He's like the most minor character ever. Anyway, yeah, I like him. There's not much to say about him. He doesn't really do much. I mean, he's kind. He's a nice guy. He seems to have a good understanding of the hunter spirit. I mean, his favorite guy is like Netero and Jing. And if your favorite guys are Netero and Jing, I gotta give it to you, you know? You're pretty cool. Ah, man, what's this guy's name? I know Majitani and Lerut and, I'm forgetting his name, and this guy. Oh, God. This person is... I'm just gonna go right ahead and go here because this isn't even really a character. Same with it. These aren't even really I mean, they're characters, but they like, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. This guy, you know, I really like him. I'm going to go put him here. Because I'm such a sucker for needlessly complicated tasks. Maybe not needlessly, but I like them little puzzles, and I liked his whole misdirection, like, you know, the illusion of choice and whatnot. I thought his task was really good, and it gave Gon a really good chance to shine. And I think I like his vibe. Oh, and oh my God, there's one scene. It's so funny in the manga that he gets. I can't put him above Beans. But if you're anime only, right before he reaches into his pocket, right when he's about to pull out the candles, he pulls them out and he goes ta-da, and then he like sadly kind of says to himself, "Oh, it's not dynamite." And I think that's the funniest thing ever. That's so funny. Are you kidding me? Like, get characterization out the wazoo. From that, you can just assume that... I mean, it also said he's into explosives, but that's just so funny. He's disappointed that he can't pull out explosives as his big surprise, which he's used to. I think that's hilarious. Very classic. Majitani, F tier. You're an asshole. I don't like you. You're a jerk. Lerut, I have to go F just because... You know what? I'm not a big fan of transphobia, and look, I know it was very subtle transphobia of like, oh, feel my genitals to make sure I'm a girl, and you know, it probably doesn't matter to most people. It's probably not like a real important thing. Bums me out a little bit. She's fine. I like her task. She's like this guy, but doesn't have a funny little moment, and also contributes to a slightly transphobic scene. Not knocking on Togashi, because we will get to a certain character later. But yeah, no, his views clearly change. Oh my God, there's this one scene in Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm not gonna get into Togashi and Mathwiz made a great video on Togashi trans characters. If I remember, it'll be up here. If I don't, search up Mathwiz Togashi trans characters. It should be the first result. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but do it. It's such a good video. Also, Mathwiz doesn't need a shout out from me, but go subscribe. Anyway, this guy. Let's make like a special Killua jobber place. These are all the people that are just around to just show us how awesome Killua is. I mean, you know, the very classic build up some guy as the big strong, big scary, and then Killua comes out and just one shots. I like the scene better in the manga. It's a little more brutal, although it is kind of funny how Killua like hands his heart back to him in the anime. So the 2011 anime. I've yet to see the 99 anime just because I'm so scared to run out of Hunter x Hunter content. I don't want to get to the end of it. I always want to feel like there's more to see. This guy, kind of the same as this guy, but just for Hisoka, except not even, because he's not even built up to be like. I feel like it's pretty obvious at the get-go that Hisoka's gonna kill him. I don't know. I mean, he's fine. He throws things. Illumi. God. Oh, am I gonna have to put a transphobe in SS? I can't put you in the same thing as Tompa. That's not fair. Okay, you have to go down here because we're gonna. Okay, I think this is what we're gonna have to do because you. Tompa S tier. I feel like that's a bit of an exaggeration. Yeah. Okay, this feels better. Illumi, there's so much subtext you can draw from his character. I made a video on him, but like, I don't know, the whole like, you can glean so much from every Zoldyck child based on their relationship to Killua. Because like, imagine being born just knowing you're not the chosen one, like you're not gonna be the head of the family ever. And being treated like a tool. So like his whole thing is he was treated like a tool, so he tries to get some semblance of control by using others as a tool. He just wants what's best for his family, but he's also really messed up because he was abused. So like I get it. And Killua was given special circumstances. Like he was allowed to go off and do his own thing. Illumi, I don't think it's ever implied that he got that same treatment. So like I think Killua could have ended up like him if he didn't find Gon, and if he, was told that he was not the special child his whole life. Because I don't know, so I think he's a very interesting character. Also takes part in the funniest scene in the entire series, in the manga after the anime, where he's joining the Phantom Troop, and he like says the whole thing about like, yeah, me and Hisoka hired me to join the troop and kill him. I only get paid if I murder him, so no, I don't know where he is. And the whole troop is just silent. And I mean, I'm not doing it justice, but it makes me laugh so hard. I cracked up reading that scene. It was so funny. So, funny guy, transphobe, but whatever, that's fine. As long as your transphobes are well written, it's fine. Oh, God, I want to remember these guys' naming. I know Mickey, but I don't know these guys, unfortunately. But I do remember this guy's a sweetheart. I don't know, he cares about Killua, which always gives you that makes it good in my opinion. Did I really put this guy above Mito? That doesn't feel fair. I think Mito has to be very top. I love Beans, but Mito's, I don't know. Yeah, fine. I'm not talking about them right now, though. Yeah, so I don't know. He agrees to help out Gon and his friends at the risk of himself getting harmed, and I think that's beautiful. This guy, he's fine. I mean, he's either C or an A because I don't dislike him, but I also don't think he's. Yeah, I'm gonna put him here because he's fine. I mean, I'm here. He kind of his whole thing is like, oh yeah, he tried to attack the Zoldycks, but then he realized they were really strong, so now he's on their side and he's really jaded, which is fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but this isn't even a character. It's a dog. Doesn't even do anything. I mean, like, I'm not saying that dogs can't be good characters. I think that he's a. They said it themselves. He's like a robot. Miluki. So kind of like Illumi, you can draw some conclusions on him based on his circumstances of growing up. I mean, he's clearly not the kind of person that like wants to be an assassin. Like that, he doesn't love it. He likes video games and stuff, but he's kind of forced to do it. So I don't know. I mean, I'll put him in C. I can't put him in B tier, but I'll put him up. I think that like he does more than Satots. So I'm gonna put him here because subtext is interesting. I think he's kind of an interesting character. He's smart. He's intellectual, yet he doesn't have emotional intelligence. He very much thinks like a Zoldyck, yet also is lazy and into video games. And I think that's an interesting mix of things. Kikyo, hate you. I mean, look. Is this tier list about how good the quality of their writing is? I don't know. Who am I to judge how good the quality of writing is? Is it based entirely on how much I like them? I don't know. Maybe. I like to think it's a little bit of both, like my idea of what I enjoy in a character and what I enjoy in writing in general. Nothing about this is obviously objective. But I can't stand her. I mean, I always think it's funny when like Killua like, oh yeah, I stabbed her, and someone else is like, oh, that's horrible. Of course she's mad. And then he's like, no, she was crying because she was happy. Like, that's funny, but and it makes sense. Like, it's interesting. I think it's cool, and she's obsessed with Killua. Oh, I gotta drink some water. Good lord. She's obsessed with Killua being the perfect assassin, and that's fine, I guess. Goto. We're gonna go top of B tier. Because I like the way he subtly supports Killua. Isn't super overt about it. Cares about his job. Does what he's supposed to do. And yet is subtly on the side of our characters. Canary. Oh my god. Like, I feel so weird to put her on the same level as Tompa. I might have to bring Tompa down here. I don't know. I think Tompa might just get lower and lower as this keeps going. Maybe not. But I love her. What a sweetheart. I mean, she just cares so much, and she just wants what's best for Killua. And, you know, I hope that she thinks about herself sometime, because she deserves that. She deserves better than being a butler. I mean, I think it's a fine occupation to have, but I think she deserves better. Wow, I'm blanking. Kaluto. That was embarrassing. They're interesting. They are interesting. You really have to read into subtext to say much about this person. I mean, again, like all the other Zoldyck kids, is kind of based around this inferiority complex. Not to mention that I believe when we get to see the family ties, they are jealous of, where are you, Alluka? Of Alluka. And presumably that is because they want Killua's love or want Killua's affection or want to be cared about by Killua because Killua is the special one. And they now, you know, Killua only cares about Alluka. And that's sad. That's sad, you know. Deserves better. I'm so bad at ranking things. I don't know how to say someone's better than someone else. Silva. Now, Silva's an interesting one. Because just worst dad of the year award goes to. I see some people being like, oh no, he had such a nice conversation with Killua. Oh my god, there's so many people left. Good lord. Anyway, oh, he's such a good dad. He told Killua to never betray his friends. But like, you know, you seem to forget that immediately after, he friggin' starts like laughing like a maniac, being like, oh yeah, well I tortured him enough that he's gonna eventually kill his friends and give in to darkness. What an awful dad. I don't know. I kind of want to put him in F tier. Above Kikyo. Because I don't find him obnoxious. I think he's cool. He's got cool factor. He's a very cool guy. Like, he fights cool. I mean, I don't think his ability's interesting. He shoots energy balls fine. Silva. I think we're going to have to go up here. Because I think Silva's a really interesting take on the Zoldyck family. Seems kind of over it all. Like he has pride in what he does. You know, he knows he's good at it. But he's not high-strung like all the other adults. Like, he's not super obsessed with controlling everything. He's kind of okay with letting things be the way they are. I'd love to know more about him and actually how he raised... Zeno Silva, sorry. I'm so bad with names. But, like, I would like to know more about this because there's a chance I'll put him down a little bit. Because most likely he tortured Silva, so like, you know, again, non-character. Zushi, oh Zushi, you little sweetheart, you little dum-dum. He's not a dum-dum, that's unfair. Again, I'm just gonna throw another non-character in the non-character, another one. Okay, Zushi, I don't know, I mean, I'm all here for the hardworking guy. We didn't get to see much of him. He's a little bean of joy. Because of that, beans, right? I think that makes sense. We've got the two beans. Wing. Man, I don't know. He's fine. He's good. He's like a plot thing. Or he's like, not a plot thing, but he's an important set piece to the series. And I think that he's one of the earlier characters that kind of notes that Gon's kind of a monster. Air quote, air quote. Basically that he's a 12-year-old who has the power to throw tantrums and be kind of have that invincibility complex and throw himself into dangerous situations. He notes that, and I think that's cool. I like that. That's fine. I don't know. I mean, he's not F. I'm gonna say top of C tier for now. Maybe he'll jump up, but for now, at the end, I'll probably like look over everything, and I'm really interested in who's gonna be here because we've got an empty little space. Anyway, I don't remember any of these guys' names. They're fine. They're jobbers. Oh yes, wait. Let's put this guy in the Killua jobber category. Let's see what have we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 Killua jobbers so far. You know, that's fine. This guy's also a Killua jobber. Kinda. This guy's a Gon jobber. I mean, yeah, I'll put them all in the same category. I mean, like, it's not like they aren't characters. And yeah, they've got the backstory of they went to Heaven's Arena. They got, beat up with Nen when they didn't have Nen yet. They developed it. Now they're wanting to hold on to the spot. We didn't really get much insight into, like, why they're assholes. I mean, if, like, they're jaded, sure, I get it. Why did they join Heaven's Arena? Why are they doing any of this? Who are they? I don't think any of that was necessary. If anything, I think giving us that information might have just bogged down an arc that we didn't need to know who these guys were. I think it's fine not to, and I think just kind of being able to rely on subtext to be like, oh yeah, they've probably got it rough. But I'm gonna put them there for now. Kazuo ? I don't really remember this guy's name. Again, I think he's an important set piece. I'm gonna put him with these guys. I just maybe he could go higher, but it just feels like he doesn't do much. He's an important set piece for us learning about Nen, right? Like, because he puts these abilities in places that they shouldn't be. He's not an efficient Nen user. He has a lot of potential, but he doesn't use his power efficiently, and I think he's one of the few characters we see like that until we get to some, like, crazy power levels of ants that, like, okay, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, until we get to, like, some crazy ant power levels where they don't necessarily even need to be good with their Nen, he's a human. Like, honestly, he probably had more potential than Hisoka just because he used... maybe he's, like, on equal ground just because he used his abilities terribly and still... I don't know if I'd call it a close fight with Hisoka, but, it was a fight. Chrollo? No, Chrollo, you're a little weirdo. I mean, I think we found our first SS. Because I'm not going to put him with these guys. And I have talked a lot about how much I love subtext, and Chrollo's pretty much 100% riding on subtext. I mean, a lot of people have talked about him, about his whole, like, philosophy of my identity is the spider. Every time a spider dies, it feels like he's losing a bit of himself. His ability takes other people's abilities because he doesn't have his own identity. Some real interesting stuff. A lot of interesting stuff. I'm really interested to see where he's going in the manga, what he's going to do on that ship. I really want all hell to break loose. I'm so excited. I mean, I don't know. My excitement, like, it's kind of stopped boiling, but all it would take is one chapter for it to overflow again. Nobunaga. Now, I really like Nobunaga. I mean, I'm gonna have to go S tier on this one. Possibly here. I don't know. He's a really interesting addition to the troupe. He's kind of the most, outside of maybe Pakunoda, he's the most humane. Like, he's the most his ideals aren't as warped as everyone else. He mourns his friend in a very personal way, like, not because they lost a member of the Spider, but because he lost a friend. He wants Gon to join the Spider not because he thinks that he would do well in the Spider, but because he reminds him of his friend. There's this scene in the manga where he finds a dead body with who did he find it with? Shanks. Oh God, Fanks, and oh, come on, Evan, come on. Jesus, that's embarrassing. But this guy, I swear, I know everyone's name. It's fine. Just, I'm so sorry. I'm a failure of a Hunter x Hunter YouTuber. Anyway, these two, and then they're just like, well, why do we care there's a dead body? Like, your priorities are so weird. And he's like, my priorities are weird. So yeah, he's he like totally doesn't fit in the spider, yet he cares so much for his comrades. I think it's cool. He has a very different moral code than a lot of them. This guy, friggin', I'm so embarrassed. The lost Zoldyck child. No, not really, but yeah, no, he's fine. I mean, he talks in incomplete sentences, yet he's really good with numbers. I don't know. I don't feel like he's got a whole lot of stuff going on. I'll put him here. I think because I think I'm more of a Zushi person than him, but he definitely is above like everyone up. Ugh. Hans, do you belong down here? I'm starting to question myself. Maybe you belong up here. I think you belong up here at least. Yeah, maybe up here. Anyway, yeah, I think he's fine. He meshes with the spider very well. He makes sense. Pakunoda, no, that's well, let me plug in my computer real quick before it dies. I probably should have done that before. Anyway, I'll just talk while I'm doing this. I realize now that I can talk while plugging something in. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's like Shizu or something. I know that's wrong. And everyone, you can all yell at me when I'm done. Usually I'm working with a script so I can remember and write it down. But right now I don't have that luxury. So you can all laugh at my incompetence. She's fine. I mean, I really like her dynamic with Hisoka. I really like that. Definitely above this because he doesn't have a very interesting dynamic. With as interesting, and I shouldn't say no interesting dynamics, but I'm not quite as interested in the dynamics as Shizuku. Oh, I'm probably wrong. I'm not going to look it up, though, because, you know, you're going to correct me in the comments anyway, and it's better for the algorithm for you to comment anyway. So you can all of you leave a comment about how pathetic I am that I can't remember these names. Let's outplay the algorithm. Anyway, I'm going to say here, above him... God, this is so embarrassing. This is insane. It's at the tip of my... Ooh, Big Mouse. How did I do that? Is that like an accessibility thing? There we go. Anyway, not important. Yeah, she's cool. Again, I like her dynamic with Hisoka. I think she bounces off of people very well. Don't really know much about her, though. Finks. Now, I like Finks because, as with Leorio, I am a big fat sucker for hard asses who are soft on the inside. And now we get a few very small scenes, like Paku, I think. God, this is I swear I've watched the anime like 11 times. I've read the manga like 8 times, and I still forget their names all the time. And it's awful, and I hate it. I don't know any of my coworkers' names. If I work with you, I'm so sorry. I don't know your name. I love you. You're great. I probably know a lot of things about you. I know a lot of things about all these guys. I just don't know their names. But Finks, no, there's one scene where, like, you know, when they're in the Chimera Ant arc, that little 2-episode or like 4-chapter, whatever it is, little thing that they have. You know, her shirts get all ripped up. Her shirt gets all ripped up, and then later we see her wearing his shirt. He gave her his shirt, and then he also picks up Kaluto and carries them out of the explosion. So he comfortably goes above them. I would probably say, like, here. I hate to make a little sandwich, a bean sandwich. I guess you wouldn't call a sandwich a bread sandwich because they're on the outside. But, yeah. Shalnark. Now, Shalnark's an interesting one. I mean, he's kind of the opposite of Finks in the sense of he looks like a soft boy and he's like a calculating little deviant under that. But he's real lighthearted. He brings a nice little... I'm not sure if levity is the right word. I'm not sure if he brings levity to the troop, but he's at least... He's light and he keeps it real, and I'm going to put him in between these two. Because I think he's got a little more characterization that I find a little more interesting. Franklin, the peacekeeper of the troop. I'm gonna put him here. I really like him. I think his talks with the mafia, at least after the anime and the manga, are interesting, where he's like the probably the most cool-headed member of the team, except maybe Shalnark and Crollo. Actually, probably more than Crollo. I don't think Crollo's as even-headed as he is. I mean, he loses his head once. Bucket of fish. Haha, sorry. I'm so sorry. You're a good boy. Well, no, you're not. I mean, you murder people, but that's fine. Good boys can murder sometimes. But no, I like his Peacekeeper vibe. I like that except it's funny because the first scene he's ever in is like him doing the opposite of peacekeeping. He fights with Nobunaga. But after that, he pretty much is always trying to keep the peace. He's the one who kind of reminds the entire troop when Crollo's captured. He's like, you guys are all fighting about small stuff. Like, we're not all going to die, so the spider's going to be fine. So kind of what happens. And he keeps that perspective. He has this very wide perspective, and I like that. I have to put him above Finks, actually. Yeah, I think that's right. This sandwich is getting wider. It's a double phantom burger now. There we go. She's fine. Airhead, it's kind of her thing. I'm going to go here. She's fine. She's got boobs, which is like, doesn't affect anything. I just had to say it because it's a fact. Pakunoda, MVP. Oh, MVP. Just the heart of the troop. Similar to Nobunaga. Actually, not similar to Nobunaga. It's the opposite of Nobunaga, where she fits in so perfectly, yet they both have that empathetic thing going, because she's willing to sacrifice herself for the troop. Which I think is beautiful, She makes the choice. She's constantly thinking about whether or not her choice is selfish. She has all this turmoil going on. And she cares so much, and she's just a sweetheart, and also she meows at a cat. She might be the only character that meows at a cat in the whole series, so. Bonolanov? Now tell me why I remember Bonolanov's name and not this guy's name. I mean, why? Why do I remember that? Doesn't really, I mean, sure. Indigenous person, I think that's cool, that's fine. But, like, doesn't do anything. I mean, maybe I'm missing something in the mom. Maybe I'm forgetting about a scene. I must be forgetting about something. But I don't remember anything. I remember Battle Cantabile, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else he does. Same with this Kurotopi. I don't know. I mean, what do you get beheaded, and you copy stuff. I don't remember anything else that they do. Uvogin. Oh, Uvogin. I mean, you're above I mean, look. I bet people are expecting me to put him higher than these guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm all down for a meathead that loves fighting. He clearly isn't evil. I mean, he cares about his friends. He kisses Shalnark on the cheek. God, why does that keep happening? He's a sweetheart. I mean, he's a sweetheart that loves killing people, and he doesn't really... he's a big brawler guy, and I think that's fine. I think he's cool. I like him. I mean, B is good. B is a good grade. C is a fine grade. Like, for context here, I'm not saying he's bad or even that he's mediocre. And also, my grading for Togashi characters are like, I mean, the bar is so high. I mean, I'm putting him on the same tier list as Killua, Gon, Kurapika. Like, I mean, it's like, I'm trying to be nice here. This guy... oh, God, he totally comes back in the manga. Oh, what does he do? What does he do? I don't really remember him doing much. I mean, I know he comes back. I remember him being on the whale. I'm just forgetting what he does. I don't know. I mean, as for now, I'm putting him here. If I'm forgetting some stuff that he does in the manga, let me know. Because I know he's around. I know he is. I just don't remember if he... I don't even remember what prince he's working with. God, that's embarrassing. I really need to reread that arc. It's been... God, has it been a year yet since I've read that arc? I mean, it's been a long time. I really need to get back on it. Squall, I believe is his name. I like him. He doesn't belong in this world. He just wants to take care of dogs and have a girlfriend. Like I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm gonna... that's so difficult. I don't know. I mean, I like him. I like him a lot. I think I wish he didn't die. I mean, I feel bad for him. He just wanted a happy life. girl boss much. Absolute girl boss. Doesn't do much, but like girl boss. I mean, like not much characterization going on, but what a fierce ability. Like absolutely like yes. But also like not much of characterization. That one panel where she's stepping on the guy and she's like, you know, tell me what I want or else I'll stop stepping on you. Just God, I wish that was me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm not a lesbian. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gay. What? This guy, such a dummy, such a bad ability. I really like the scene he has. Like, okay, none of the princes are on here. But that one scene he has with his prince, or the prince he's working with, I can't remember the guy's name, the guy who smokes, but it's like 2 pages of that prince is such good characterization. Like, I loved that prince in 2 pages where he's like, yeah, all I want to do is take over the country so that I can, or like, actually, no, he was like, I don't even give a shit about that. I just want to give out this, like, smoking alternative that feels like nicotine, but it's good for your lungs. And I'm like, you know what? What a freaking cool guy. And I know that I'm talking about a character that's not him while talking about him, but look, I'm not going to get another chance, okay? Oh, I can't wait to get to, Lynette O'Double. Anyway, because there's some interesting lore on her. She's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm so getting ahead of myself. You're fine. I mean, I'm going to go bottom of C tier because, like, you're fine. You're fine. Your ability sucks because you're a self-proclaimed bad poet and your ability is based on writing poetry. I mean, come on, man. Come on. This guy, no. I mean, nothing happens. He shows up. He's there. He dies. Melody, easy placement. Oh, man, I don't know. Like, I'd say even with Leorio, but maybe above. I mean, just, what if, like, first of all, I mean, character I relate to the most in the story. I am such a big fan of characters that can read other characters' emotions and use it for good. I mean, are you kidding me? What a soft bean. What a beautiful lady. And the stuff she's doing in the manga right now, the one scene that I need to see in the manga is when she sees Kacho's freaking Nen Beast. Like, what is she gonna do? She can't like make a deal out of it. If Fugetsu finds out, they're all screwed, and then all the princes will target them. So, like, she's going to keep her mouth shut, but she's going to go through all this internal turmoil. I think Fugetsu's going to die, and she's going to end up working together with Kurapika. And if there's any way Kurapika doesn't die, it's because of Melody. Maybe Leorio, but he's going to be doing doctor stuff. Maybe if Kurapika gets hurt, he'll, like, go to the hospital, and Leorio will help, and I don't know, whatever. But either way, the most anticipated plot point for me, other than, of course, all hell breaking loose and, you know, Krollo versus freaking what's his face, Saradnik. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but God, I would lose my mind if that happened. I would absolutely cry. And then if Kurapika walked in on the two of them fighting, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What would happen? So much can happen. I think I wrote like a short fan fiction about, not a fan fiction, but like a little like just like what it would look like. And God, it was just Neon. Again, like kind of an important plot piece, an important set piece to the story. You know, important that she exists. There's like some, I guess you can say there's some like moral ambiguity with like, oh yeah, the big bad person who collects body parts that like Kurapika is trying to get rid of is just this girl who's like just interested in the words of Tompa, fulfilling her morbid proclivities. But like, you know, she's fine, I guess. Mr. Nostrad, don't know his first name. He's cool. Bottom of C tier. I don't dislike him. I mean, obviously I dislike him because he's like, you know, a bad guy. But, he's a selfish little asshole. But, you know, maybe we're gonna go top of F on this one because I do dislike him. Obviously, what's my battery looking at? I don't need to look at that. I mean, he's a bad guy. This guy, hate him. Do I hate him more than Nicholas? Do I hate him more than Nicholas? I don't hate him more than Nicholas. But he does suck. You get a little catharsis. Him getting punched out. Another jobber. Although it's not like his power level was ever anything. Eliza? Why the hell do I remember her name? What is wrong with me? Why do I remember her name and not his name? What the actual heck is wrong with me? She's fine. Again, a set piece for Squala. Like, it's important that they both exist. she can like clearly kind of tell when he dies, and she's really sad afterwards, and that's sad. But Sephiel, where did I put the other? Where did I put Satots? No, I'll put him above Satots. I'll put no, because Miliki's interesting, so I'll put him here. God, Pakal, I'm so sorry. You deserve SSS. But no, I mean, again, I'm putting him here because like another person that kind of helps with Gon's characterization of like the noting. Oh, he's got the monster. Or sorry, he didn't help with Gon. He helped with Hisoka. But like the kind of like, I guess that would be Wing. So I'll put him with Wing. Sorry, Pakal, you're just going down. But the whole like, you know, Gon's got this duality to him. He doesn't really concern himself with right or wrong. More like interesting and not interesting, which I think is really cool. All these guys, jobbers. Jobber. Don't remember what the heck. Oh, we're now on to the Greed Island arc. I mean, I could say something about the Shadow Beasts, but like, what? They show up just to get murdered by Ubogen. That's fine. This guy shows up just to get tortured. They're all fine. I mean, yeah, they're basically the same as this guy. So, anyway, this guy's fine. I mean, I like the realization that he was doing it all for true love. And like he had the young wife, but it wasn't about that she was young. It was that, you know, she cared about him and she just didn't want him for his money. I don't know. He's fine. C tier. Tezugera. Again, he's fine. Above this guy, but like he doesn't do much. He's fine, I guess. Like, he's fine. I really don't have much to say about him. This guy, he's fine. He's kind of an asshole. Killua calls him out. It's kind of funny. Again, I mean, okay, like this guy's an incredibly important set piece. Like, without him, Corolla would still be out of the picture. But like, you know, Same with this. I mean, these guys are all just like who. Like, I mean, I know who you are. I remember them, but like, they just don't do much. I mean, this guy. So she's like friend of Jing. Which one? Are they both here? Oh yeah, they're both here. So I'll put you both here. You don't do much. You're at the entrance and the exit. I don't know which is which. This guy shows up at the beginning of the game as an asshole, gets murdered by the Phantom Troop. This guy, he's like on the team with the asshole lady with this person, if I'm not mistaken. This guy, I want to say he's like the leader of the group, one of the groups. He's fine. Mr. Bomber guy, whatever his name is. People crap on him a lot. I think he's fine. I don't think he's particularly interesting. I'll go bottom of C tier. I mean, he fulfills his role. I don't think we needed a super complex villain for Greed Island. Bisky! Where do I put you, Bisky? Bisky, I like you, Bisky. Bisky's cute. Bisky's funny. Bisky's cool. I like what she's doing in the manga right now. Her power, her ability matches her personality for sure. Like the whole cutesy, like making her look young and small thing. I mean that's fair. I get it. Like and it's a powerful ability actually, because she's just so strong herself. She doesn't really need an ability other than getting swole. And I do really like the guy in the manga who's like super into her muscular form, and that's like why he's into Nen, is because he's like, oh, your trapezius are so well defined, the epitome of beauty. And it's funny, and I like her, and I like him, and she's a good teacher, so good. Oh, I really like this guy. It feels weird it would feel weird to put him above Bisky or any of these people. I mean, what a great backstory. I mean, it feels so weird putting him. Maybe not. Maybe you gotta go a little lower. Maybe here. Maybe here's more appropriate. I think that makes more sense. But I do really like his backstory. I mean, I hope he lives a good life. I mean, I know he was murdering people, but like so many other people in this series, and he just wanted to live a happy life, and then rich people ruin it all, which is like fine. I get that. That's fine. That's good. I think if rich people punch you in the face, you should be able to murder people with scissors. Don't quote me on that. Just another person to prove that Killua doesn't get along with women. That's this guy. He's fine. I mean, he like gives up the card to Gon and Killua, or like he doesn't give it up, but he's like, sorry, he's like okay with them taking the card instead of the copy. But like, is that enough? Is that enough for me to have an opinion on him? Like I don't have a strong opinion of him as any of these people. So I think I have to go NA. Razor. Razor's cool. Again, he's got cool factor. He's got cool factor. And that's cool. And he's cool, and he like, I don't know, he was a prisoner. I'm just kind of like saying things about him, which isn't, like kind of like, so what, right? I don't know, he feels indebted to Jing. He was going all out against Gon. It feels weird to put him like not in a high tier because like I feel like he was such a big part of things, and I liked his dynamic with Gon and stuff, and he was a good competitor. But he just, I mean, do I want to put him above all these people? That's like the thing. Like they all do more significant things, and it's not even really about the significance of what they do, but like how invested in them I am. How invested am I in Razor? How much do I care? I mean, more than these guys, for sure. More than them, more than them, more than them. See, this is where it gets hard. I don't know about here. I'm probably going to go here for now. Because I think Vilicky, like, I feel like they have similar amounts of things they do, and I'm more interested in his subtext. So yeah, we'll go with that. Literally not even a character. You are an NPC. You don't do anything. Again, like Jing's friends, like, I don't know. They're there. This guy's got a messy room. His room looks like Togashi's room. That's funny. I get it. Probably not anymore. I would assume Togashi has a cleaner room now that he's married with kids. Maybe not. I don't know. What do I know about Togashi's life? Kite. Oh my god, Kite. Kite. Man, you gotta go SS probably. I think, right? Like, I mean, he put the whole story in motion. It almost feels weird putting him under Chrollo. Because, like, what a lot of people don't get, because they just watch the anime, is, like, Gon doesn't want to follow his dad because he's, like, curious. Like, that's really not where it comes from. I mean, that's where it comes from in the anime. But in the manga, it's more like he respects Kite so much, and Kite respects his dad so much. And he's like, oh, well, I'm my dad's kid, so I'm pretty cool. So I want to go find my dad so that I can find out what about him Kite respected so much. Like Gon has this line in the first chapter of the manga where he's like, thinking back to Kite's words where it's like, oh, Jing's last test was for me to find him, and it was the most difficult hunt I've ever had. And then Gon thinks to himself, so it's about time I go search for him. So he's kind of thinking of it like as a test, so he can not be respected by Kite, but like so he can follow Kite's footsteps. So really, Kite's his dad, if you want to think about it like that. I mean, not biologically, but if we're talking about the effect they have on each other, and even Gon like doesn't feel right calling his dad. He's like, Jing is right. Like, I'm not going to call you dad. That's weird. So, like, Kite's more of a father figure than Jing ever was. Not necessarily Jing's fault, but, like, that's just what it is. The Chimera Ant, the Queen Chimera Ant, I mean, she was Merom's mom, but I think she's really interesting. She has this really cool scene where she ponders, after the ants ask to have names, she's like, that's really interesting that they want names. Like, they're still ants, they're still working for the greater good, but they compete, they have individuality. And that's kind of weird. And maybe I'm weird for thinking that that's weird. Maybe there's human blood coursing through my veins. And I think that's cool. I'm going to have to put her maybe here. I really like her. I think she's an interesting character. She's kind of the ultimate bridge between ants and chimeras. Or sorry, ants and chimeras. Ants and humans, because like all the other ants are basically just reskinned people. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe they're a little more malicious, but I mean, this whole arc makes a point of how malicious people can be. So like, So she kind of bridges the gap, and we get to slowly see her move from just like this voracious monster to like loving her child and coming up with a name for him that means the light that illuminates all. Like she goes through a little mini character arc that's like very subtle and like understated. Like I don't see a lot of people talking about her, but I think she's cool. I think she's got a cool thing going on. I almost feel like I have Beans up here as a meme. Like, he's so lovable, but like it feels so weird putting him above all these people, but that's fine. I like her. I don't remember her name, but she's got that whole thing with the swans where she's like a big fan of them, and then she kind of berates. She doesn't berate Gon, but she's like, "You better, chin up, buddy." And she has the whole little backstory with Kite. Like, I'd go C tier. Like, I don't think she's so irrelevant that I'm gonna put her in NA, but I also don't think I can put her above. First of all, I think this guy goes here. No. Okay, wait. Why did I put him all the way down here? Definitely above this. I think I'm going to go here. I think this makes a little more sense. And then maybe she can go above Tezugera. Yeah, that makes sense. Because she's got like a little bit going on, but she doesn't really do much. Stick Dinner makes puns right under her. I like puns. I feel like they don't translate very well into English. I don't know what the original Japanese ones. If you know, if you have them in your back pocket, comment them. I'm not cool enough. I want to learn Japanese. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything with a racist character design. Doesn't do anything. Okay, so Kurt and Colt are different in this tier list, I guess. I don't know. Are Reina and Reina different? Like, do we get to... Yeah, okay, yeah, they are. Oh, and Kite's also different. Well, I have to put Kite with Kite because they're the same person. So, like, that feels weird to put them in two different places. Kurt's fine. I mean, he protects his sister. Feels like a set piece. Because Colt is different. Like, I will put Colt as a different person than Kurt. I think his name's Kurt. Reina... I'm going to put her here, but I am going to place Reina the aunt in a different place. Because, again, neither of them really get much. God, I'm such a sucker for moms. I mean, if you don't know this about me, my mom passed away a while ago. And any mom I see in stories or, like, in real life, like, I love when people tell me about their relationships with their mom when it's a positive thing. They're like, oh, I love my mom. I love moms. I don't know. You're above Mito for me. But I don't think you're above Goto. Because, like... She goes searching for her kids every night. Like, I know that's so basic. I know that's not, like, some, like, amazing character or whatever. But, like, come on. She cares so much. And then the scene at the end of the Chimera Ant arc makes me cry so much. Like, what a beautiful way to wrap up that arc of, like, a bunch of darkness and messed up stuff. End it with this mom, like, immediately recognizing her kid. That is my favorite trope of all time. Is, like, kid is transformed... Mom immediately recognizes them anyway. Like, God, I'm about to cry thinking about it. That's how much of a friggin' loser I am. Like, Jesus, your mom dies and all of a sudden you're a friggin' loser. Anyway, if your mom died, I apologize. I didn't mean it. I'm just talking about myself. Colt. I do like his character arc. I mean, he's another example of one of the guys that... Because, like, some of the ants are just kind of people right away. Like, Peggy's kind of a person right away. Chitu's kind of a person right away. All these guys are kind of people right away. But Colt's not. And I think that's really interesting. Is he has this duty. Well, I guess he is like a person. But like his duty, his realization of where his duty comes from changes so much. And I think that's cool. So I should take back what he said. He was kind of born like immediately a person. But he had a misplaced sense of duty. At first he just placed it on the queen. And then slowly realized it was more like... just wanting to protect something because he felt like he wanted to protect his sister. So I think that I really love that. I think that's really sweet. I think this is fine. I think that's fair. He's not my favorite character in the story, obviously, kind of in the middle, but in the middle of Togashi is really good. Like even the characters here, like I don't even think they're badly written. I'm not a fan, like there's no one here that I think poorly like is a detriment to the story. I don't think anyone is negative. I think everyone's positive. Like there's not a character here where I've been like, man, the story would have been better without them. So I'm gonna make that disclaimer a few times. Peggy my guy. Whatever. I mean I don't know what to say. I want to like him. He's into books. He's a smart guy. Sure, turtle guy, kind of the same. Bravoda. Oh man, what a cutie. What a cute little dude. I mean, okay. Let me specify when it comes to the last scene of the anime, or of the manga, I guess. With the whole, he was a villager, but he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna stay here and be a monster. But then Reina's like, come eat with us, and he's like, oh, this is where I belong. Why am I crying? So great. You go there. He doesn't do much, but I do like that. I'm a sucker for lighthearted, wholesome scenes. Byhorn. Why the hell do I remember Byhorn's name and not actual important characters? Jesus. Cheetu, everyone's favorite dumbass. I think this story. I keep saying show. I think the story needed a dumbass. Yeah. Maybe above Colt. Maybe above Ubogan. Maybe above Finks. Maybe above all these guys. Maybe above the Queen. Not above Beans, though. I think Beans is the gatekeeper of B. That's why he's called Beans. Haha. That was so bad. Anyway, Cheetu, I don't know. I think he's a cute dumbass. Mathwiz opened my eyes. Second shout out to Mathwiz in the video. But really opened my eyes to the beautiful dumbassery of Cheetu. Also, those booty shorts. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jobber. She's fine. Total jobber, though. Like, kind of just there to get killed by the Phantom Troop. I'm sure that I could find something about her I like. I don't know. She's got the dominatrix vibe. That's fine. She deals with Pike. Again, why do I remember his name? I don't know. Melioran? I really like Melioran. He's probably the most... He just strikes me as, like, not necessarily the most human, but the most normal human of the ants. He's just like a guy. He just strikes me as just a normal guy. And I like him. And again, he's got the whole, like, oh, he sent a monster in Yugon. Which is more, at this point, it's different than what the other people sensed, than what, where are they? Where did I put you? People that sense things in Gon. Yeah, Wing and Zepile. Like, they were less like, oh, he's a monster. I mean, I guess they used the phrase monster, but, like, I think they more meant in the sense of, like, he's got this really ambiguous morality because he's a child. And with him, it's more like, oh, I sense this very strong vengeance and anger in you. Which makes sense. So, and also, you know, just, like that whole scene where he's like, oh, you shouldn't trust me. And Gon's like, I do trust you. And he's like, but you shouldn't. I just think that's funny. I think he's funny. I think he's cute. This guy, jobber. I mean, yeah, he's an evil guy. Fine. Now, Koala. Oh no, did I actually place him? No, you're not. Whoa, hold on. You're not NA. You're not NA at all. My favorite soliloquy of the whole series. I mean, I don't know if that's enough to make a character, but, like, you might be above Beans. Hell, I might put you right here. I love what he has to say. Fascinating character. Really ends off the story of the anime story, at least. But kind of, like, closes so many tight ends in such a perfect way. Kind of a precursor to, like, the Detours, like, you might find, like, make sure to enjoy Detours to the fullest type thing, like, with his whole, like, it doesn't matter the size of the thing, that doesn't affect its power. And he talks about the importance of the soul, and he's like this nihilist who stops being a nihilist. And I think that's really cool, because I think it's really easy to get caught up in, like, how depressing and the evils of man and all that the arc is, but I think he really pulls it together in, like, this whole redemption is always possible, this human life has meaning. Like, I don't know, I think he really makes it a more cohesive story, and I really like what he has to say. B tier, is that... Man, I'm putting a lot of people lower. I think my standards are too high. I'm like, see, this isn't a tier list outside in a vacuum. This is, like, out on Togashi's characters. It's like, I feel like I have to be really harsh, and, like, I can't just be putting everyone in the S tiers, you know? There will be a few more S tiers yet, but there might be not as many, just because I think I'm being harsher than this story deserves, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Don't even think of these as, like, A, B, C, F, whatever. Just think of it as, like, top, little lower than that, little lower. Like, it's all good. Like F doesn't even mean bad. I think this is the third time I've made the exact same disclaimer. Whatever. The hell is this guy's name? I don't care. I'm really tempted to put him in the Killua Jobber section, even though that's really not. like there's more to him than that. Love to hate him. Based off of a Shrike, which is interesting. You know, the impaling animals. If you don't know what Shrikes are, look them up. Shirke, I think. Very interesting. I mean, I'm down with it. He's angry. Introduces the ants to Nen. Important set piece. But, you know, love to hate him. That kind of vibe. Pike. Freaking hate Pike. God, he's so obnoxious. I mean, I don't think he's a bad character, but obnoxious. Leol. Oh, Leol. Or should I call you Hagia just to piss you off? I don't know. Well, while I'm thinking, I'm going to put you in NA. I think I'm going to put you in NA too because, I mean, you're fine. Leol, I don't know. I mean, definitely above you, definitely above you, definitely above you, definitely above all these people. I think that's the cutoff. Because he's fine. I think his whole, like, wanting to be the king thing makes sense. He's definitely one of the ants that are more influenced by his animal nature. Like, most of them are influenced more by their human nature, and he's more based on his animal nature. I'm very curious about that. He also likes music, which is cool. I like that. Him and Morel, they have a good chemistry. Flutter. I don't know. There's not much to P2 easily. SSS. I mean, their whole arc is just so good. Such an empathetic, like, I mean, is never evil. Like never was, never is evil. Just starts playful without an awareness of the importance of life. And Meruem makes them realize how important life is, and then they're immediately able to apply that to everyone around them. Like, feels genuinely, for lack of a better term, bad. There are better terms, but feels not guilty, but like is feels bad for Gon. Like, really is able to empathize, and just how organic that is. And meaningful without there being a lot of obviously stated, like, P2 thinks to themselves, oh, now that this has happened, like, I feel like everyone loves P2. Nav. I'll put Nav in A tier. Just, I think he's an interesting character. I said that so quickly. Maybe here. I think I find it very interesting how his rigidity causes him to snap, whereas a lot of the other characters were more fluid, they were more ever changing, and that was able to, allow them to keep going. I think it's very interesting how one of his first lines, if not his first line, is talking about how children will freak out when they see things they don't understand, and then he freaks out after seeing something he doesn't understand. So, that's cool. Really upped the stakes for the story because he was set up as one of, like, the big protagonists. Kind of, yeah, and then he snaps. Kind of begs the question how no one else snapped, like how he didn't snap yet. Well, I guess because with Shoot, I'm guessing we're gonna get to Shoot. Yeah, like with Shoot, he was inspired by Gon, and Nav was alone. So I guess that's the biggest difference, is that he was going at it alone, whereas everyone else had someone with them. So maybe if he had joined them all together, he wouldn't have broken down like that. Of course, they wouldn't have been able to do anything if he hadn't done that in the first place, so MVP, really, because he made all that work. Morel, my guy Morel, you're definitely higher than this. You might have to go A tier. I love Morel's whole, well, first of all, so fun to watch fight. So fun to watch. Love his ability, love the way he thinks, love how flexible he is. Also, like, but I really like his whole, like, he trusts the people in the field. When he has a friend, he's like, I trust you to know what you're doing is right. His whole, like, he just trusts Killua to do the whole Alaka thing. He's like, we're not going to ask questions. We're not going to, like, just do what he says. Just do it. And I think that's a really cool part of him. He gives Beans a bunch of crap, which I like. I think, Beans is, like, the bureaucracy, and he's just like, no, screw the bureaucracy. Like, I'm going to get done what has to get done. And I really like that. Palm, I think that's easy SSS tier. I mean, okay, I might need to explain this. I made a video on Palm a while ago. One of my favorite characters, I mean, I don't think I can put her above Netero. But, her whole arc is so beautiful because, like, okay, for context, because of course there's the whole pedophile thing, right? My problem with it is not actually that it happens. My problem is the way that the anime frames it as like this real romantic thing. I'll have to recheck the manga to see how it's framed because I don't really remember. I do remember the one scene where Gon talks about like cougars coming to the island, and I hate that scene because it's like, oh, let me justify pedophilia really quick. Like, let me try and normalize this and make it like, oh, it's not a problem. It happens all the time. So like I have more of a problem in a meta sense to the story saying that it's okay rather than because she's supposed to be toxic. I mean, she is a toxic person. She is, I mean, first of all, she clearly has a bunch of self-hatred because her ability is activated by self-harm. She's constantly used as an object by Nav. He says, you know, your blood's a commodity. Don't use it without my permission. And also, like, clearly she's not usually treated as a person. I mean, you can just see Gon and Killua meeting her for the first time. That's probably how she's treated by everyone. I mean, Gon's even nicer to her than anyone else. She's definitely used to people just being like, oh, you freak. Like, don't talk to me. And she can't really help it. She's clearly sick. Like, she's not a mentally stable person. She's always talking about how she doesn't want to hurt anyone. Like, it's not like, oh, I love hurting people and being a monster. She hates it. She hates herself for it, and that leads her to self-harm, see herself as an object. No one's there for her. No one supports her as a human being. And she's got like this really unhealthy attachment to her master. And then when Gon comes along, the first person to treat her with any level of humanity, am I saying it's okay to be a pedophile? Of course not. No, it's terrible. Like, that's awful. Or, I mean, okay, well, that's actually a complicated... It's horrible to act on being a pedophile. Whether that's not really a choice to be that, but to act on it is obviously morally reprehensible. I think pedophiles deserve help and treatment and support. That's a whole take that isn't really a part of this. Not support to act on their impulses, of course, obviously, but you know, they can't really help who they are, and that's kind of her whole thing. She can't help who she is. And then her whole arc is like, she comes around once her emotions are separated from her, and then Killua shows her humanity, the second person to ever be kind to her, and she's like, oh shoot, like, people do care about me, and I can be cared about, and that's the moment that she's able to regain control over her emotions. It's just such a beautiful resonant arc of like someone overcoming their own toxicity. And again, my only problem with the pedophile thing is how it's framed in the story from a metatextual point where it's like, oh, pretty colors and nice music, and like, isn't this so romantic? Like, fuck that. I was trying not to say the F word. Whatever. Minute and 15 seconds, hour and 15 minutes in. Anyway, at this point, if you're still watching, thank you. You're great. Subscribe or whatever. You know. Shoot. I really like Shoot. I mean, I think he's got a cool arc. It's a little basic, but there's nothing wrong with a simple character arc. Who doesn't love a simple character arc? I think I'm just gonna have to feel this one out because I don't really know. Maybe like here, because my computer froze for a second. Him being a big coward, but also seeing the bigger picture reminds me a lot of Nav, actually, in a lot of ways, where he's a lot more rigid. He's a lot more like, you know, doesn't act on his emotion, which is why it's so interesting that his arc concludes in him acting completely on emotion and being inspired by Gon, this person who's weaker than he is, being brave, and he's like, oh shoot, like, no pun intended, if he can do it, then so can I. And then he just finds this ecstasy in throwing his life away, and it's sad and it's beautiful, and it's, you know, it's all that stuff. Knuckle, best boy Knuckle. I mean, we're shooting right up. I think here. No, I can't put him above Kite. But again, Leorio type starts out looking like the asshole, is a real sweetheart. Love that. His net ability is so perfect for him. I've seen some people say that they don't really get how his net ability reflects him. I mean, you know, on one level, he's a sweetheart, so his ability makes it so that he isn't hurt, his opponent isn't hurt, and then at the end, it pacifies his opponent. And also in a meta-textual sense, like, he teaches Gon about Nen, he likes teaching, and his ability is about teaching real-life financial advice. So, you know, there's some interesting stuff there, and I think he's got a lot going for him, and I am a big softie for big softies. My top is filled with a bunch of softies, except for you and you, kind of you. But I don't need to discount all the softies. Poof, easy SSS tier. I think here, honestly, like, kind of gate kept by the main characters and Melody. God, I mean, he had the most subtle human trait of the guards. Like, he had this very human way of having ideas of how things should be that aren't congruent with the way things are, which is like so esoteric and abstract, and the way it manifests is so interesting. And it leads to insanity, which is like such an important lesson in like checking yourself and checking, are you really seeing the world around you, or are you seeing a reflection of yourself? I mean, like, in a really weird roundabout way, it reminds me a lot of like Vagabond and like a lot of the themes surrounding Musashi, and like how, you know, the world becomes a reflection of yourself. Like, he embodies that more than any other character in this series, I think. And the way he's always doing what he thinks is right, and yet it's always what's the worst for everyone around him and himself. Like, he's just a detriment to everyone, but all he wants is to do good by the king. Yuppie, I mean, look, I think Yuppie's interesting. Not SSS, not SS, not even S, I don't think. I'm going to have to go A tier. I know a lot of people love UP. I love UP. I think UP is really interesting. I think the whole duty thing is interesting. Duty. Sorry, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. I'm allowed to make one poop joke, okay? Give me that one. But he, I honestly don't have that much to say about him. I think his arc is interesting. The whole, like, rageful to controlled rage to respect, all that's cool. I just don't think it puts him in the top. Meruem. Do you beat out... I think you do. Do you beat out Melody? Oh, shoot. Where are you? I don't know if... I mean, God, honestly, like, I might have to do it like Meruem's scene made me cry more than any other scene in the series, other than a certain character who will be coming up. I don't think that's fair. I think Kurapika has to be above Meruem. Come on, computer, stop being frozen. Hey, there you go. Hey, can I unplug it now? Yeah, I can. I think charging it's going to make it go a little slower. Anyway, yeah, I mean, God, need I say more? I mean, what an incredible arc. I mean, oh no. Is it all going to disappear? Did it all disappear? Oh, heck yeah. All right. We're back, baby. Okay. So, like, I just what a resonant arc. Really just summed up all of the themes of the arc, of like this whole, like, there are two wolves inside of us, right? One of them is human and one of them is an ant, or something. I think that metaphor got away from me a little bit. But, like, I just my feelings for him are so visceral. Like, it's so, like, it's so emotional, and it doesn't feel like, yeah, I can analyze it, but at the end of the day, what I care about the most is just how he made me feel, Like, I cared about him so much, and I was rooting for him so much by the end. And then the way he chose to live his last moments were just so beautiful. And I love that. I don't know. Not a character. Not really a character. Pell. Why the hell do I remember Pell's name? Ikalgo? I mean, immediately have to scroll up here. Maybe here. I really like Ikalgo. I think his dynamic with Killua was awesome. I mean, he was kind of Killua's Killua. Like, Gon was to Killua what Killua was to Ikalgo, and then Ikalgo was to Bravoda and Welfin, who I'll get to later. Kind of continued the chain of empathy. Because, like, the Chimera arc to me was, like, two main things. There's one, the darkness of humanity, right? That's, like, the obvious one that everyone's going to talk about. That, like, oh, yeah, humanity's evil, blah, blah, blah. Which I think that's such an oversimplification. But Ikalgo is such an important cog in the aspect of the arc that is humans are beautiful. Like, humanity is capable of darkness, and humans are capable of beauty. Meruem showed us that. Killua showed us that. Ikalgo showed us that. Bravoda or Blaster, depending on what translation you're using did that. Welfin ended up doing that. Like, they all, I mean, he was just this part of one of the main parts of the show, of the story, manga show, that I think so many people overlook. So I'm going to put him up here, maybe above Bisky. I think that's fair, because Canary's got to stay top of A. I mean, got to keep the Canary love. Not a character, not a character. Komugi. I mean, look, best love story. Love it so much. So good. And Komugi is such a little ray of sunshine in a dark, dark world. And I love her. She's great. I don't feel like there's a ton to say other than what you would already know. Like, just wholesome. Oh yeah, and I think one of the like, okay, I will say one thing about her. One really fascinating aspect of Meruem's whole arc was that he was what everyone saw him as, right? Like, at the beginning, everyone saw him as this monster, and so he was the monster. He was the monster king. And then Komugi comes in, and because she can't see him, she sees him as a human. You know what I mean? And so because he now has this person in his life that doesn't hold an expectation for him, he realizes, oh, I don't have to have this expectation on my shoulders, mirrored by his nen ability of gaining the powers of people that he eats, right? So, like, she spurred on his growth, but it was not just because he tasted defeat or met someone better than him. It was because she held him in such, didn't have expectations for him, didn't have an idea of who he should be, unlike everyone else in his life, with the royal guards and all the other ants and the humans that all either feared him or were under his thumb. We got Welfin. Come here, Welfin. You know you're going right up to the top. Now, does it feel really weird to put Welfin above Chrollo? Absolutely. Does it feel weird to have Palm above Chrollo? Yeah, it does. Am I standing by my decision? Absolutely. Welfin has one of my favorite arcs in the whole series. I made a video on him a while back, like a year ago, and it got taken down, and that was before copyright, and that was before I saved any of my videos, so it was just lost to time. I still have the script. I might remake it someday. I'd really like to, because I love his arc. But God, his nen ability and his whole thing is so perfect. I'll go over it very quickly, but like, his ability stopped other people from lying, right? They had to tell him the truth. And it got worse when they lied, and it would heal when he told the truth. Like, when he told the truth, their pain would go away, right? So he was all tangled up in lies, trying to control things from the shadow, trying to be like Gyro, his king. And when he became an ant, he kind of forgot about Gyro a little bit. Like, he remembered Gyro, but it was all about him gaining control, just like the person he admired. So he tried lying, and lying just wasn't right for him. The more he lied, the more stressed he got. I mean, by the end of his lying thing, he was like basically convinced. He noticed that Meliaram was somewhere, and he was like, oh God, someone's out to kill me. Am I already dead? Like, I mean, he was so paranoid at every step. And then his own ability became a lie detector, forced him to tell the truth, which opened Ikalgo to, reawakening his humanity through Gyro's name, and then later reawakening his humanity again with his own name. So, like, God, he was just such an incredible character arc, and then he continued the line of, like, Gon to Killua to Ikalgo to, like, Welfin and Bravada or Blaster, and then Welfin to Meruem, and, like, yeah, it's just so, and then also, like, Killua to Palm, and then Palm to and then Welfin to Meruem, and then also after that Palm to Meruem, letting him see Komugi. Like, just such a series of beautiful, empathetic connections of reawakening one's humanity by remembering those one cares about. Sometimes being the self, sometimes being others, and he fits so perfectly into that. I loved that. This freaking guy, I mean, whatever. He didn't do it. Reina, ugh. Oh, Reina, you do make me cry. Where did I put the mom? I'm putting you right there. You two belong together. Where'd you go? You two belong together. I'm never separating you. There you go. The real Diego, or I'm always mixed up with the name. It's either Diego or Kim Ming Jolik, I want to say. One of them. I mean, he's not really a character. I liked his poem, but like he Pariston? Yeah, you're going up here. Just because of his whole thing with Jing. Oh my god, I love his relationship with Jing. I mean, let me just preemptively bring. Oh, there you are. I love Pariston and Jing. I love them so much. I think that their dynamic is incredible. I think that they are very similar and yet so different. Like he's the emotional side, he's the apathetic side, yet they're looking for the same thing and they have the same spirit. And that is so beautiful. And they both have such a amazing hate boner for each other. And I love watching them. One of my favorite dynamics. God, if you haven't read the manga, first of all, do it. And also, I don't know why you're still here if you haven't read it. Like, I've spoiled so many things. Read it, please. They're so good. For nothing else, just read the freaking volume, like 33, I want to say, where they go at it. It's incredible, and I want to see them do more. Maelstar, he's cool. There's one scene in the manga that's really funny where he goes to meet Kurapika and he says, "Can I get a coffee? I'll provide the milk myself," which to me implies that he has udders. I think that's insane. Obviously, it was just a joke, but still funny. I mean, he's not C tier. I think he's above that. Maybe like here. I mean, he's cool. I like him. You know, he's got a sense of duty. He does what he thinks is right. I don't feel like there's much to say about him. Kanzaki, maybe? Doesn't do much. This person doesn't do much. All the Zodiacs kind of haven't done much yet. We've got Mr. Trader Pants here. I mean, I can assume he's being a traitor because he likes Beyond's mindset. But again, all these people, I don't know. Like, they're fine. They just don't really do much yet. I mean, they talk in the next arc. Like, in the Dark Continent arc, they talk. But, I don't know. Cheadle. I like Cheadle. I think you gotta go below all these people, though. Like, I think here. No, I meant to go there. Like maybe here, because she's such a straight ahead. You know, cares a lot, but isn't. She's like book smart, but she's not street smart, which I think is a really interesting dichotomy between her and Jing, where like she and him both have like all this information in their head, yet she's totally inflexible and he's totally flexible. So she really just can't read people, and she tries, but she just can't do it. Easy. Absolutely not even a question. Honestly, I'm tempted to go here. I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go here. But just like, okay, I'm gonna have to be real here. As a trans girl, there's really not a lot of good trans representation. Like we are usually characterized as either like monsters or perverts or like total weirdos, or just, like there's just so little good trans representation in media, let alone anime. I mean, God, like My Hero Academia, all the trans characters are freaking insane weirdos. Like, why? And here's just like this freaking fluffy bunny of a human who cares and like is insecure, but like, and oh my God, don't even get me started on how her powers. I mean, you should. I mean, if I won't go totally into it. I've made 2 videos on her already. Where like, I mean, this entity inside of her that's really powerful, yet people take advantage of it, and it's people fear it because they don't understand it, and yet it only just wants to be accepted. I mean, that's like what a freaking perfect metaphor for being trans. Like almost everything about it is just so. I mean, like I'm almost tempted to go like here. I mean, I don't even know. Like it's like it just means so much to me that she's a character that exists. I love her so dearly. She is such a jelly bean. God, so good. And we're getting to the Tsubone. I actually really like Tsubone. I think we're gonna go here. And actually, I think you're gonna go here because I'm realizing that I like him a lot. But because like I like the characters in B tier a lot. I like the characters in C tier. Am I gonna do this again? Is this my 4th disclaimer about how I like all the characters, and this is just like I need to put some above others? God. Anyway, Tsubone, like, she's a hard ass, but she cares. Like, she pretends not to care and she tries not to care, but she does care. And Amane, I want to say she's fine. I just don't, there's not enough. There's not enough of her. I don't really know what her deal is. She's the granddaughter of Tsubone, and she's kind of ditzy sometimes, but wants to be hard. That's fine. That's just not enough for me to have an opinion. Not really a character. You're the hacker guy. Jing owes the money or something. Cutie Beauty, again. I'll put these two guys here as well. Like, well, yeah, I mean, I'll put you in C tier because, like, at least he's got this whole, like, he's in the anti-chairman faction and he, like, the other guys on his side are too straight ahead and he wants to kind of do things behind the shadows. And I think that's interesting. Like, he's kind of the shadow leader of their little group. So I'll put him, he's got something. Jobber. I'll put him with him because he's like, I'll put him a little above because he's like wholesome and he wants to do the right thing, yet he's kind of dumb. Medical person. Oh, I'm so happy that we got this last. Lynette Double. Now, if you don't pay close attention, you might not know what her deal is. She's the oldest hunter in the association. You might remember her as the person who fell asleep during the during the chairman election. What you might not know is she went to the Dark Continent with Netero and Zig Zoldyck. When you go, when they show that panel of like the three of them over there, like, well, this place is too big, right? That one big, really famous panel that everyone talks about. She's there. And now I don't know anything about her. I don't know what her deal is, but God, I'm so fascinated. What is her lore? She is so old. She's like Netero age at this point. I mean, obviously she's worse wear for tear than he was, but like, I'm so fascinated to know what her deal is, and I really hope we get to find out someday. Like, maybe it'll just be like some small detail that she was there with him and we'll never find out anything else. So I have to go NA because we don't know anything about her, but I am probably the most interested in her in terms of like characters that we don't really know anything about. Most anticipating Melody's part in the future, most anticipating information on her. So yeah, that is my tier list. Maybe someday I'll be able to do one for like the manga after the anime. But if I ever do that before that, I would reread it because I definitely need to dust off my brain. And I've been going for almost an hour and 40 minutes now, so should probably wrap it up soon. I know you just love hearing my sick nasally voice. I really wanted to sniffle right there, but I'm not going to. I'll spare you. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I want to bring some more content to this channel. I want to bring stuff back again. I've really been. I'll slowly scroll down the list so that you can like look over my choices as I do this little outro, whatever. But yeah, I want to bring videos back. I've got a Hajime no Ippo video I really want to make. I've got a new series I want to make. I'm not really gonna say what it is. Well, sure, whatever. What do I have to lose? I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but it's gonna kind of be like. I think I'm going to call it We're Not So Different, You and I, where I point out characters that seem really different, but they have, like, intense similarities, or at least, like, at their core they're similar, yet they manifest in really different ways. Like, the idea I have is comparing, like, Griffith and Jing, and, like, how their whole thing is that they want that which they can't grasp with their hands, yet the way that manifests is so incredibly different. What they're willing to do to get there is different. Just so many things about them are obviously different. I mean, they're clearly very different characters. So I'll scroll back to the top here. So yeah, those are some things that I've got on the horizon. I have a few other ideas, but I'm very tired right now, so I don't really. I'm sick, y'all. Give me a break. You're not even talking to me. I need to give myself a break. You're not here. I mean, you're here, but you're not here. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I hope you have a great night. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff out for you. I hope this was enjoyable. Take care. Bye.